Hello, welcome to another Lowdown, the official show for Download Festival 2013, right here on Scuzz, unless you're watching the repeat on YouTube. I'm Beez, and on today's show, we'll be joined by the very sweary Ben and Danny from Asking Alexandria. Sorry, I can't get enough of it. And the lovely chaps in Heaven's Basement. Plus, there's also your requests and shout-outs, the chance to win download tickets in the Downloads Big Ten, music videos from bands on this year's lineup, the almighty highlight of your week, What Would Bruce Do?
What would Bruce do?
Yep, that's with Iron Maiden's Bruce Dickinson, which you should know by now. And that's what we're up to on this episode of Lowdown. All right, time for the sensible bit. Download takes place on June 14th to the 16th. Weekend and day tickets are available now. Get over to www.downloadfestival.co.uk. You don't have to do www. anymore. It's not 1998. Yeah, you can buy your tickets there and make sure that you're not crying like a little sissy girl while your mates are all at Download. All right, first video. We've had them requested every single week and we love the dingo out of them. Stop going on about dingoes. This is Parkway Drive with Karma. All right, this mob will be popping into the Lowdown next week to talk all things Download and to answer your questions. This is His Infernal Majesty, that's him to everyone else, with Buried Alive by Love. Yep, you can catch him on the Lowdown next week. We'll be back right after the break with all manner of filth from Asking Alexandria. Don't go anywhere. Right, welcome back to the Lowdown, the official download show with myself, Beez. If you've missed out on any of the previous shows with Corey Taylor, Bullet for My Valentine, and Shikari, loads more, get onto the Download YouTube page and sort that out. Right now, however, you can check out this potty mouth chat with Ben and Danny from Asking Alexandria. Beez on the Lowdown with Ben and Danny from Asking Alexandria. So, Download. Was that your first one when you were in the tent in 2011?
Yeah, it was our first one. Also our last one to this point.
Yes, yeah, very fair.
First and last to this point, yeah.
Was it something that you'd looked forward to in the couple of years that you'd been touring prior to that? Was it one to tick off?
It was always something in the back of our minds, but I mean, us two, we never went to it when we were younger, and it was never anything that particularly knew much about. It was just kind of this thing that we knew happened every year. Yeah. And yeah, when it came to it, it was just a really, really great experience.
It was pretty phenomenal, wasn't it? And our main stage.
And being like big classic rock fans, like surely like there must have been mad amounts of looking forward to Donington as well, with the heritage of the place and everything.
Yes, very much so.
Completely.
And Def Leppard played that night,
right.
Wow.
And I couldn't see him because, well,
we heard them as we were driving away.
Yeah.
No, brutal.
We had to go to another show.
Did you manage to catch anyone while you were there? Catch anyone else?
Yeah. Oh, wait, was it Download?
Yeah, I just caught the bar a lot.
Yeah, right.
I saw a lot of the bar. I was walking around all day with pictures of Bloody Mary.
Yeah, you and Beersack were doing shots with my missus as well at one point.
Yeah, me and Andy, we were getting a bit weird later on in the night.
Mate,
not with your missus.
No, we snuck backstage and we're like, we were stealing bottles and we thought it was so great for being caught away, then we realised it's a free bar. Yeah, and we were just like, let's let these little drunk get away with it.
Amazing. So, main stage this year, is it something that's a bit more exciting about? Actually, I suppose we should talk about your 2011 performance first. Like, do you remember a lot about it?
I just remember being blown away.
yeah, right.
I just remember being blown away, honestly. I thought, oh, we're in a tent.
Yeah.
It's going to be So then we went out and I was like, oh.
Was it like rammed?
It was rammed. It was all, there was thousands of people outside the tent trying to like catch a glimpse too, so it was mental.
And did we give them a glimpse?
And so main stage stuff, like, do you enjoy the outside, that sort of thing?
I do. I definitely prefer like the indoor arena style stuff.
Yeah.
But I prefer the outdoor things to say like club shows and theatre shows and stuff.
Right. And does it feel like that sort of day that you can kind of prove yourself to people that are aware of your name but don't know much about your band?
Oh, definitely.
Even at this point in time when it's like you've done Brixton and all those kind of things.
If I look at it from the outside, I know that's how I should feel.
Right.
But I just go in there and I'd never give a
Right.
I kind of just go in and it's like, this is the same show we put on every single day.
Yeah.
This is us. If they're gonna like us, they're gonna like us.
Yeah.
If they're not for me, do to change that. Well, there is, but I'm not going to do it. This is us, and I just got to do the same thing I do every day.
Does it get harder putting together festival set lists, though, having to cut things down?
Yes, annoying, I hate it.
Yeah.
That's the one
We
thing
usually
I hate.
just use our old support set list.
Oh, really?
Yeah. but that's annoying, is I hate going from like a headlining set list where we're playing like an hour and a half, then we're told, right, you've got 40 minutes. Like,
Does it feel hard, like having 40 minutes to define what you're about within that short amount of time?
It's also harder to perform in that amount of time. I find it easier to play for an hour and a half than I do to play for 40 minutes.
Yeah, well, you have to hit the ground running, don't you, straight away? And so, is it going to be new material by that time?
yes.
Yep, we're going to be playing a new song.
If our new album is out by that time, we may as well just hang our hats up and kill ourselves.
What month is it?
It's like June, mate.
Oh, yeah, there'll be new material.
So, a bit more than just running free?
Yes.
Right, OK, this was pre-recorded, just in case you didn't know. So, yeah, stick around. Danny and Ben are going to be answering your questions, more on the Lowdown. Right, more from Asking Alexandria later on in the show. Remember to check out the Scuzz Facebook page to submit your questions. Only the best ones will make it into the Lowdown, so if you've got something to ask, make it a good one. Right, time to give out some tickets. It's the Downloads Big 10. This week, we asked you if you were only allowed to take one thing to Download Festival, what would it be? 10 great answers. Only number one can win a pair of tickets to Download Festival. Let's go. Jace Walker says bog roll because you never know when you'll come within inches of yourself. Number 9, Stefan Manning says Batman. I mean, who wouldn't want to see Batman in a mosh pit? Fair dues. 8, Mark Skinner says my mate's missus because she's well fit. You're not going to end up with any mates. Number 7, Craig Pemberton says a one-armed monkey spanking monkey. You can lend that to Mark. Number 6, Chad Woody Wood, Gypsy of the Week, says myself as I don't have a ticket and I can't afford one. Number 5, Chloe Heaney says a magic tent like the one in Harry Potter. You know, the one you go inside it and it's 10 times big. Number 4, Bradley Belbin says a Pringles tube to poo in because the toilets are rank. So are you, mate. Number 3, Adam Sullivan says the Doritos Mariachi Band. You'll have the Bronx out of a job. Number 2, Graham Lowndes says a portable TV so I could watch Scuzz TV overnight and have access to great music 24/7. I don't disagree with your sentiment, but you've got a little bit of poo on your nose. Number 1, and winning the download tickets, Dave Weston says he would bring his birth certificate so he could show Bruce Dickinson that he was made in England, like what you've done there. Iron Maiden, let's do it, the Trooper. That's it for part 2. Still to come, Asking Alexandria will come back to answer your questions. I chat to our mates in Heaven's Basement. There's What Would Bruce Do? And, of course, your shout-outs and requests. See you in 75 shakes of a lamb's tail. Welcome back to the Lowdown, the official Download Festival TV show. I'm Beez, and right now you can join me as I caught up with Heaven's Basement. Bosh. Beez on the Lowdown. I'm here with Sid and Chris from Heaven's Basement. How's things?
Good, mate.
Well done, mate, yeah.
So, are you excited about playing this year's Download Festival?
Yeah, fired up. Last year was probably the highlight of our year.
Oh, right. What stage were you on last year?
We was on the stage 3, the 10.
Yeah, the stage, it was epic.
But we was on at like noon on the Sunday, and we didn't really expect many people to come up because it's like hangover day, isn't it?
Yeah,
like,
totally.
so,
especially after like people have been on site since Thursday.
But we just before we walked out, we peeped up and like the whole thing was full, and all the security started freaking out, doubling it. And
yeah, it's meant.
It was epic.
It's wicked. The Pepsi backstage, like over the last couple of years, has almost felt like the place to be because there's been like Let Live and like all of like the buzz bands have been there.
Yeah.
Like, did you feel that was the case, and was it kind of preaching to the converted, or was it like more people turning up as it was coming along and getting into it?
There's more people turning up, but there's definitely the tent has a buzz about it that the outdoor stages don't really capture that same atmosphere.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like excitement about it because like we even had like our fans that couldn't get in because everyone was like coming in. I was like, that's dope.
Well, that's it. You got to be there at 1:45, not 12.
In the daytime, it's hard to make the fields look absolutely ram-packed unless you're in a headliner band. So,
yeah, exactly.
So the tent, when you're seeing people crawling out and falling out the side of the tent, it's like, sweet, you get one.
And is it tricky playing when you haven't done at that point the album hadn't been out?
Well,
so
we played. We flew back.
Right.
The day after we finished tracking the album. And so like we opened the set with the a song called Welcome Home, which opens the album, and we'd never played that before, but we were like that fired up that we were like, yes, let's just go.
What's the out of 1 to 10? How bad was the jet lag?
That show was such a buzz that it was like we could have been away for like 3 weeks and we still would have gone on and done the same show.
Yeah, it's a well good cure for jet lag. So anyone out there that's ever jet lagged,
there you go.
And play Download.
Just get booked at Download. It's fine.
Yeah.
So you played acoustically prior to that. Yeah. Did it add to the excitement, like the fact that, I mean, you're a rock and roll band, so acoustics all well and good, but like.
Well, no, but that's the thing, because the year before we only kind of announced ourselves as a band, like with our new singer and stuff, a couple of weeks before Download. So they were like, all we've got left, come and do this acoustic thing. So we were like, if we're gonna do acoustic, we're gonna go all out. It's gonna kick off. So. I'm not even funny. We had a drum kit, electric bass. I had fuzz, I had distortion, like acoustic. Like Aaron was stage diving. There was mosh pits. It was epic.
Rob, our bass player, was like, we're not going to sit there, play guitars, and talk about our emotions. We're going to.
Yeah, so we just rewrote everything, just went off on massive jams, and it was like some of the heaviest stuff we've done. Yeah.
Does it feel a bit better now that you've got a record and people can know what you're about? Does it kind of add to the excitement of playing this year's, because it doesn't feel like the Download crowd as a whole are kind of feeling in the dark as far as having space is concerned. They've got something.
Well, we've just done a UK headline tour about like a week's worth of dates around England, and all the shows have been great. So Download's the next show, and it's going to be awesome just to see everyone, like all our friends and fans, and at one place in the summer. Like we can't.
Well, yeah, because it's a trip now to start when we're playing songs that we can new songs. People are singing them. Like we played in Manchester the other night. And in the middle of a song called Nothing Left to Lose, Aaron just stopped singing, and I just brought it down as quiet, and the whole crowd just sang the whole thing, and we were
amazing. Confident of stealing other people's crowds as well now?
Yeah, we're always confident of that.
Whether it works or not is one thing, but you've got to be confident in it.
Bagging, well, here's why. I'm Electric. Cheers for coming in.
Cheers.
Right, that was Heaven's Basement. You can catch them on the Zippo stage on the Saturday of this year's Download Festival. Now, Asking Alexandria will make their main stage debut, at Download at least, on the Friday of this year's festival. Here they are answering a couple of your questions. Welcome back to the Lowdown with Danny and Ben from Asking Alexandria. Your questions. We'll start with Reece Stevenson. Asked Ben, what was it like growing up in Dubai? And did you listen to any of the local bands back then?
I loved growing up in Dubai, honestly. I lived there for about 10 years. It's a very westernised country now. Like, a lot of people are like, oh, you know, was your mum allowed to drive? Were there camels running around? Like, no, there weren't. If you look at Dubai on the television, that's pretty much how it's been since I've been there.
Was there a McDonald's?
There was a McDonald's. That's all you need to know. That's all I needed.
They have chicken Big Macs there.
What?
They
no.
Pretty fantastic.
What?
Chicken Big Macs, they're amazing.
We're all packing up and moving to Dubai.
Yeah, Dubai won the UK nil.
Exactly.
And did you check out local bands while you were there as well?
Yeah, I was in a local band, so I used to do the local thing, you know, play. We'd have to. It's weird because there's a huge metal scene over there. There's so many metal bands, like especially death metal. Death metal is massive over there. But it was one of those things where the promoter would be a kid, and he'd have to like rent out a hall at a hotel or something, and like every weekend there'd be a show, battle of the bands, same kind of everywhere, I guess, when you're starting out.
Who was the best band that wasn't your band? Do you remember their name?
There was a band called Mankind that were pretty good. There was a band called Equinox that were good. Death of 80, they sounded like a Funeral for a Friend. There was a bunch of bands that...
So you're starting to hear the death metal trend coming there.
This is serious names. Joshua Richards says, why does the community of metalheads hate you guys?
They don't.
I didn't know they did.
Thanks
for breaking our heart.
They don't.
That's it, man.
You're wrong. Maybe people, you know, are just so close-minded and you hang around with people. But as a whole, all the metalheads we found are very open to new music.
Actually, that's completely true. We found actually doing like Mayhem and stuff. And bringing out bands like Trivium and stuff, and As They Dying, that metalheads are actually really, really accepting. I think, like, especially, we were worried about Mayhem, well, I was, about the Slayer fans.
Yeah.
And
Slayer fans, like,
they were awesome. Like, they were great. Every day we did a signing at the Jaeger tent, which was 21 plus, so there was no kids allowed. It was all Slayer t-shirts, like big bearded dude, yeah, man.
When we came back from doing you guys on Mayhem, I was like, it was just Slipknot and Asking shirts everywhere.
It was sick. It was so good.
So Riley Thring asks, what's been the lowest point in your career? And I'll ask, what's been the highest? But I'm going to flip that.
My God.
Because that's a brutal question.
That's a long
what's
list.
the highest point in your career been at this point?
Probably the highest point in my career was probably the lowest as well.
Right.
Yeah, we've had a lot of...
We're just sort of clawing our way out from a low point, I think.
Yeah, we're still trying to get out of the low, to be honest.
And what's been the highest point? Because I'll flip it, because that's brutal.
That bit.
Alex Ailing asks, how much wood would a woodchuck chuck if a woodchuck could chuck wood?
Oh,
So close! So close!
The woodchuck, no wood. You can chuck wood. How much do you chuck? None.
There you go.
The ability is not a reason to do the act.
Liam Tatalin asks to Danny, ever since you cleaned up from drinking, when you cleaned up from drinking, did it help your creativity with music, and was it easier to work with him? Because you went through the sober period when you were writing records, right?
It drowned my creativity, and I was really bad at it.
Right, okay. Jordan Twig asks, what would your advice be for up-and-coming bands?
Oh, don't do it. No, just...
Be quick on the nude train. Get
Be
those
yourself.
nudes out there.
Right. Well, it helped. Like Paramore did the O2 off the back of that.
Right.
Yeah. Was that the
Everyone
backdrop
else
she used?
says or does, just do.
Do twice a day.
And then and bunch of just strangers.
There you go. Kieran
No
Moore.
phone numbers.
There you go. Kieran Moore says, whose mosh pits are better, the Scottish or the English?
They're all mental.
Actually, yeah, last night, probably the best one.
So far.
So Glasgow throwing it down.
Glasgow
destroyed
1,
it. Rest of world 0 thus far.
Thus far, they hold the record, so let's see what happens tomorrow.
We like to end this traditionally on the same question. What's your favourite biscuit?
Ooh, you know, it could be Hobnob.
Biscuit?
No, I don't think it is. I don't think it is.
Hobnob.
Would that go?
You
But then you'd end up with like oats in your cavity.
Vile.
Oh, no, so I got enough.
Let's see if this makes 1 o'clock in the afternoon. Right, thanks, Danny and Ben, for asking Alexandria. Catch him on the main stage on Friday of this year's Download Festival.
Yes.
Danny! So I can't get enough of it, sorry. Right, here it is. The best thing on the Lowdown every single week. It's What Would Bruce Do? What would Bruce do? Right, this week we asked the man who is revered by fans, peers, contemporaries and critics alike whether he'd like to be on an episode of Cops or an episode of Cheers. Come on, Bruce, you know Cops. Nino, bad boys. You remember Cheers, as in Cling Cheers, where everybody knows your name? Right, while Bruce makes up his bloody mind, we'll go to an ad break. What do you think he goes for out of being on an episode of Cops or an episode of Cheers? Hit us up on Twitter now at Scuzz TV and the hashtag WWBD. The answer will be coming up straight after this. Welcome back to the final part of the Lowdown, the official download show with me, Beez. Bruce Dickinson, an episode of Cops or an episode of Cheers? He's had long enough to mull it over. Let's find out what Bruce would do.
I want to be in Doctor Who.
What would Bruce do? Bruce, you wily trickster, you fooled us all. More from Bruce Dickinson next week and hopefully in the future for an Iron Maiden special where we'll actually do a face-to-face What Would Bruce Do, where he hopefully won't hurt my face. Right, it's that time where we hand the show over to you for your shout-outs and requests, so let's get on with it. Matt Solo says, yeah, all right, Solo. See you at Clanload, Matt Solo. Elliot Lever wants to give a shout-out to Elliot Lever. Congratulations on completing your university degree. Here's your present. You're going to Download Festival. Now go and get hammered. Love, Elliot Lever. That was all a bit Back to the Future, but I quite liked it anyway. John Krakowiak, sorry if I've pronounced your name wrong, wants to give a shout out to his mate Kyle Dealey, who he's going to download with, woo. Caitlin Elizabeth Warburton wants to hear Korn's Get Up, hoping she might actually remember seeing them this time around because she's been too drunk to remember the last 2 times they've played. Korn will be back on the main stage on the Friday of this year's Download Festival with Brian Head Welch. In the meantime, Korn. Right, I can't lie to you, I'm not actually in the country this week, so we've only got 1 request. So I'm going to pick something you need to hear, because I'm self-indulgent like that. Right, ask no questions, bang your head. This is Mastodon, Curl of the Burl. That's it for this week. Thanks for joining us. We'll see you next week, where we'll be joined by Vila and Meeg from Him and stateside conquering lovely blokes, Young Guns. Remember, downloadfestival.co.uk is where you can get your tickets, the latest information, past episodes of The Lowdown, all that sort of thing, so give it a look. In the meantime, just look into the camera. We're going to do something that makes you look like a gonad. Cheers, lads. Here goes. See you next week.
We're no strangers to love. You know the rules, and so do I. I feel commitments while I'm thinking of. You wouldn't get this from any other guy. I just want to tell you how I'm feeling. Gotta make you understand. Never gonna give you up. Never gonna let you down. Never gonna run around and desert you.